6 natural remedies to relieve gas and bloating. Gas buildup in the intestines is common during the digestive process, especially when you consume certain foods. However, when gas occurs in excessive amounts or the body has trouble passing gas, it may trigger annoying symptoms such as pain and swelling. Although not considered a serious disorder or condition, many seek to provide relief in order to prevent other more serious complications. In addition, since gas can often alter the activity of intestinal bacteria, it's necessary to release it in order to restore order to your body. Fortunately, there are several natural remedies that decrease gas retention in the body, while encouraging digestion and reducing inflammation. Up next, we'll share the 6 best tips for relieving gas naturally. Cinnamon tea. First of all, cinnamon tea is a natural digestive and an anti-inflammatory remedy that helps to reduce the production of gases in the intestine and reduce discomfort. Plus, its properties improve the digestion process of foods and fight against the excess of acidity in the gastrointestinal tract. Ingredients: 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 5 grams, 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters. Preparation: first, add a teaspoon of cinnamon to a boiling cup of water. Then, let it steep for 10 minutes. Directions: drink a cup of tea at the first sign of gas. Peppermint tea. Peppermint is a well-known plant in natural medicine. First of all, its organic compounds support the digestive process and decrease the formation of gases. In addition, this tea promotes the removal of waste retained in the colon and prevents swelling. Ingredients: 1 tablespoon of peppermint leaves, 10 grams, 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters. Preparation: first, add the peppermint leaves to a cup of boiling water. Then, cover and let it steep for 10 minutes. Directions: drink 1 cup of tea after each meal. Star anise tea. Star anise is a natural ingredient with carminative and anti-inflammatory properties that facilitate the decomposition of accumulated gases in the intestine. In addition, its properties dramatically decrease stomach swelling and help to avoid the feeling of heaviness. Ingredients: 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters, 1 teaspoon of star anise, 5 grams. Preparation. First, heat a cup of water. Once boiling, add the star anise. Let it sit at room temperature for 10 minutes before serving. Directions. Drink 1 cup of star anise tea after eating a large meal. Bloating tea. Bloating is a plant with carminative and antioxidant benefits that help control heavy digestion to prevent inflammation and flatulence. In addition, its natural properties help to decompose waste accumulated in the digestive tract, preventing them from fermenting and forming gases. Ingredients. 1 teaspoon of dry bloating leaves, 5 grams, 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters. Preparation. First, add a teaspoon of bloating leaves to a boiling cup of water and cover. Next, allow the tea to steep for 5 to 10 minutes. Then, use a colander to filter out the leaves before consuming. Directions. Consume 3 times per day, preferably after eating large meals. Clove tea. Next, clove is a spice that decreases the production of gases in the intestine to prevent swelling. In addition, its regular consumption supports digestive processes and decreases discomfort such as abdominal pain and acidity. Ingredients. 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, 2 grams, 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters. Preparation. First, add 1/2 teaspoon of cloves to a boiling cup of water and let it steep for 10 minutes. Then, filter using a colander before serving. Modo de consumo. Drink a cup of clove tea before eating. Basil tea. Finally, another popular remedy for the control of stomach gases is basil tea. This plant has cleansing and decongestant properties that help eliminate waste from the colon to prevent changes to its bacterial flora. Ingredients. 1 cup of water, 250 milliliters, 1 tablespoon of fresh basil, 10 grams. Preparation. First, boil a cup of water and add the fresh basil. Next, let it steep for 10 minutes. Then, filter the tea with a colander. Modo de consumo. Drink 1 cup of tea after eating a large meal. Does food constantly cause unwanted gas? Try these natural remedies and say goodbye to this uncomfortable problem.